Power of the Elements is dropping August 3rd at your local OTS shop, and I can't remember the last time people were this excited about a set. It has great support for classic decks like that of Heroes, and yeah, I'm going to be a little biased about this set. I love that deck, but it also has great brand new archetypes, which should completely change how the game is currently being played. Though, because of all of those great new cards, I feel like there are a handful that are being overlooked that are also in the set. Cards that don't fit into pre-existing or brand new archetypes. And so here today, we are talking about those free agents. And we're going to begin with a super polymerization target and a new world premiere card. YuGiOh, Wings of Resonant Life. It takes two monsters with the same type and attribute but different names. Any battle damage your opponent takes from battles involving the card is doubled, and if the card is sent to the graveyard, you simply draw one card. You can only use each effect of YuGiOh, Wings of Resonant Life once per turn. So it essentially makes Super Polymerization a much more versatile card, but in addition to that, the sent to graveyard effect is really impactful with cards like Nadir's Servant. Think about it. You draw one, and you search one. Hello, engage. Actually, though. Oh, no. Next, we're talking about a Shuriking. Great for all of you BA players out there. It requires 3 level 3 monsters. While this card has material, it can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of materials attached to it. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles, it gains 200 attack. When another monster's effect is activated, a quick effect, you can detach one material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. You can only use this effect of a Shuriking once per turn. So first of all, if you're going first, you have a negate. If you're going second, you can clear a board or attempt to go for game, because unlike a lot of cards that say they can attack multiple times per turn, this one doesn't just have to attack monsters. It can attack directly. Now let's read Ultimate Slayer. Your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. Pretty broken. Send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls with the same card type, Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, Pendulum, or Link. Shuffle it into the deck. What's really cool is it's not once per turn. So if you draw multiple, you can clear multiple cards on the board, and because you're sending cards from the extra deck to the graveyard, you can trigger cards like Elder Entity Entis and Herald of the Arclight. So versatile, good to draw on multiples, and when your opponent has cards like Mirror Jade, which generally get effects when they leave the field, they're not going to because it's being shuffled back into the deck. So great against decks like Despia, as well as just getting rid of general cards like Baron de Fleur. Next up is Draco-Utopian Aura. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. First of all, broken. Then you can apply the following effect. Banish one monster from your hand, and if you do, special summon the monster that was destroyed and sent to the graveyard by this effect to your field, but negate its effects. You can only activate one Draco-Utopian Aura per turn. So you can negate a monster effect and destroy a card absolutely free. But if you do want to banish a card, say you have a dead hand trap that just isn't good in a certain matchup, then you can steal the opponent's monster. Now for a tongue twister, Kurakara Div Incarnate. It is a fairy, 1500 attack, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by tributing all face-up monsters on the field that activated their effects this turn in your opponent's monster zone. It gains 1500 attack for each monster tributed to special summon the card. Also, during your end phase, you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard and special summon it to your field. You can only use this effect of Kurakara Div Incarnate once per turn. So it's essentially a going second card, kind of akin to that of Lava Golem or Sphere Mode, but it's pretty cool. The artwork's great, and that is our collection of free agent. I hope that you feel like you learned something or just became aware of a card that perhaps was overshadowed by what else is coming in Power of the Elements. The set does drop August 3rd in local OTS shops, August 5th elsewhere, and I'm really excited for this set to drop. I will have an opening on the channel very soon, so if you haven't, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you soon, and Konami, thank you for sponsoring the video.